To some, they're mysterious. To many, they're mystifying. To those who collect, they're marvels of design. To those who geek out, they're in all the best movies of action. To those who don't understand, they are menacing. In some areas, they're a misdemeanor or even felonious to carry, so know your local knife laws. But to you and me, they're Microtech, and they make really cool knives. Hey, welcome to the table. Microtech is very well known, even outside of the knife collecting enthusiast community, as arguably the most infamous out-the-front automatic knife maker in the US. When you hear the term OTF, that's what that means, an automatic out-the-front pocket knife. Microtech has been around a long time, and they make more than OTFs in case you weren't aware. They make some fantastic out-the-side autos like this LUDT, as well as some manuals like this Ramlock stitch. I'm Lyle with Edge Cutlery, and today we're going to do a little brief overview and size comparison of some Microtech knives. Thanks for joining us. Now, Microtech has an absolute ton of different models, and they make a pretty vast array of finishes and colorways on many of the same models. Like this is one of mine. This is the Bounty Hunter Exocet model. I've had this for many years. Big Star Wars geek. And this is my UTX-85, which is the same form factor as this one right here, which we'll get to in a moment. But as you can see, it has a different, really cool finish on it. So as I said, they have a lot available. We're not going to be able to look them all in detail today. Definitely head over to our website because we keep a really large assortment of Microtech in stock. But I do have a few of the most popular and some of the most interesting ones to me to look at here on the table. So let's take a look. Before we get started, almost all of these knives have M390 blade steel, though in the past Microtech has used a few comparable steels, and nowadays they're using kind of a proprietary version of M390 called M390MK. And some of those models, the costs have actually lowered. They've also normally come in aluminum on the handles, but some of the new manuals, like my stitch, are rocking this very sturdy polymer material. They've been making some really cool changes recently, as well as the move to more common fasteners and away from the proprietary ones. Well, let's get started. We'll go from smallest to biggest here and start with the Mini Hera. This is the Hera 2. These are brand new and they are available on our website right now. This one's coming in at 6.88 inches overall with a blade length of 2.88. This one is a double-edged bayonet design with thumb jimping. You can put your thumb right there on the top of the blade safely. And this is, I believe, going to take the place of the UTX-70, which is the very small Ultratech design. Very cool little knife here, and it's actually not as small as it looks. I can put my whole hand on that grip. It's pretty cool. Next up is the regular Hera. It's a little bit bigger at 7.5 inches overall, a 3.10 inch blade, and this is kind of a pretty special model in the Hera line. This is a frag handle milling, and this one has a very cool blade shape they call the Hellhound, which, it's kind of wicked looking. Very cool. And this is the UTX-85, which is the mid-size version of the Ultratech, coming in at 7.51 inches overall, 3.11 inches on the blade. Again, this is the mid-size version of the Ultratech, and this is the same size of the one that I have in my collection. I personally like the single edge blade shape because you can put your thumb up on the spine and go to work. Next up is the regular Ultratech. This is the full-size Ultratech, 8.36 inches overall. I believe this is their best selling in their line. A 3.35 inch blade. This is a double edge and it's rocking the pink scales, as you can see. That's very cool. Next up is one of the newer models in their line. This is the Glycon. Comes in at 9 inches overall with a 3.75 inch blade length. There are 3 switches, which give you a little bit of versatility in actuating the knife. This is a really big knife for sure. This also has the bayonet blade design, so you can put your thumb on that jimping right there in a very safe way. And this here, the last one up, is the Combat Troodon, coming in at 9.5 inches overall. This is a big boy. 3.8 inch blade. This one is featuring the Ultim top, so you can kind of see all of the inner workings and mechanisms in there that make this kind of knife possible. These guys over at Microtech are geniuses of design and engineering. Big old glass breaker on the back there. It's definitely a very beefy knife. Let's move this out of the way and talk some quick size comparisons just to give you a little bit more context. If you're a folding knife enthusiast and you haven't delved into the out the front arena yet, here is a pair of 3 from Spyderco, and here is a PM2. This is a full-size Benchmade Griptilian, and this is the Civivi Elementum, the smaller side. You can see the Mini Hera 2 is comparable in length to the Elementum. And next, I wanted to put one of the bigger knives in my collection up against the Combat Troodon. This is the Spartan Harsey Folder. Pretty big knife. Troodon beats it just by that glass breaker on the end there. This is the Mini Adamas from Benchmade. So now you have kind of a real world view of the different sizes and shapes of some of the Microtech line. Hope that helps. Now let's talk safety for a moment. These OTFs carry a lot of kind of baggage with them, especially kind of outside the knife enthusiast arena. And they are sometimes glamorized by violence in the movies, of course. And there are some OTFs that have been made that could be considered dangerous, but to my knowledge, all double action out the front pocket knives that are produced by Microtech and other reputable companies have kind of a baked-in safety design. And when they encounter resistance of any kind, they actually jump off the rails and they stop firing. So here's a little test I can show you with my knife. See, it would have cut, but it would not have stabbed anything and harmed it seriously. Still a pointy end, so you got to watch out for that. Then you can just flick it to get it back on the rails. Yep, works every time. There you go. Also, it needs to be said that the buttons are a lot harder to use than it looks, and they do that by design so that they won't fire off in your pocket accidentally. That's just not going to happen. They do take a good amount of force to open these blades. My thumb is going to be super sore for the next few days after making this video. So again, check your local knife laws, but double action OTFs are just as safe to carry as any other pocket knife as long as you keep them in good condition. So what do you think? What are some of your favorite Microtech knives? I'm personally really digging the Ramlock stitch, and I think I'm going to have to pick up the Mini Hera soon. It's pretty cool. Let us know in the comments. Please like and subscribe to keep up with us. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok if that's your jam, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.